Hello everyone, welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Whew, man, I don't want to be talking about this. I don't want to be making a video right now. I didn't want to have to. I literally promised myself subconsciously that I would not make a video until we had signed and announced Leroy Sane. Okay? It seems like my entire freaking channel, or this entire community channel, is based around Leroy Sane. So the story today, which holy crap, I'm an idiot. I didn't pull up Twitter because I get a lot of information from Twitter. There's lots of sources on Twitter. So so what the story was a few hours ago was basically that, you know, with kicker, a lot kicker build and lots of trusting sources, right? So a lot of people were convinced that Bayern Munich was going to sign Leroy Sane. That was the news going around Twitter. We were all seeing it. So the whole thing was that Bayern had agreed that Leroy Sane was going to join Bayern, and there was a 20 million a year contract or something like that, which is about $350,000 a week. Probably it's going to be like $300,000 a week, and then 50,000 in add-ons depending on how well he does. It's going to be a 4 to 5 year contract. Basically, Sane was just said and almost announced by the entire world except Bayern. Okay, so all this news was going around, right? Christian Falk, which I trust him. I trust Christian Falk with my life. He came out and said the rumors were true, that Bayern had made an agreement with Sane and they were about to agree a 100 million fee with Manchester City. And then literally 50 minutes or even 5 minutes after I'm done reading all that information, I get a freaking notification. Bayern Munich themselves, the thing in my thumbnail, the club that I support. Go ahead on Twitter. I'm gonna pull it up because I don't want to like misquote them. But the official Bayern account, it was on literally I think every because Bayern has an English account, they have a Spanish account, right? So I think they tweeted it out on mostly every one of their accounts, right? Legit, it was a club statement. So that's serious. So the club statement reads: media reports of today with the content that Leroy Sane had decided to change to FC Bayern do not correspond to the truth. I call BS, okay? So you have kicker, you have build, you have trustable third-party sources, people like Fabrizio Roman, no, not Fabrizio, Christian Falk, going ahead and saying this was happening. This is exactly what Bayern shouldn't have done if the Sane rumors weren't true, right? Okay, what happened with the Bale rumors? Bayern didn't address it and say we are not interested in Gareth Bale. Guess what? We just shut up because we knew we weren't interested in Gareth Bale in the first place. So you let rumors go, okay? You're a club making billions. You have hundreds of thousands of fans all around the world, millions of fans, hundreds of millions even, right? You have fans that are going to read the news, right? You know that the newspapers are going to. So my point here is that Bayern wouldn't have tweeted this if something wasn't up, okay? They wouldn't have tweeted saying, okay, no, we're not getting Sane if something wasn't up. So Bayern did the same thing with Lucas Hernandez. Remember, we had sources come out and say Lucas Hernandez, is going to join Bayern in a few days. They've agreed on a deal. Lucas Hernandez himself came out and was doubtful over his future. Okay, and guess what? Bayern and our board they didn't really address it. They were just kind of like, no, it's not happening. And then 2 days later, we got Lucas Hernandez signed, and his release clause was activated. Okay, so I don't buy this tweet from Bayern that we haven't done, because guess what? Three trustable sources. Christian Falk, he's my favorite source because first of all, he just verifies things. He's very connected, has lots of connections in the football space. He knows what he's talking about, and he has very good sources. He is saying that these rumors are true. Build is saying it. Kicker is saying it. So you can't have three people, three trustable sources. Kicker, I guess, isn't really super trustable, but you can't have them. Okay, so there's a Man City guy on Twitter as well, right? This guy had been saying this whole time that Bayern have never initiated contact with Manchester City. This guy works for the Manchester Evening News, which no one trusts. I think at some point they were saying that, the Manchester Evening News, I think they were saying, what player? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but they were saying they've had some stupid stories that have not become true. They've had some weird links. I don't even think they have good sources, even though they live in Manchester. You would think they have a few people at the club that give them good information. But this guy from the Manchester Evening News, basically, a few days ago was denying the fact that Bayern had opened negotiations with City. He was denying it flat out. And then today he's saying that Man City want 150 million or something like that for Sane, and Bayern have only offered. Okay, first of all, you get disqualified right there. He's just guessing the fee at this point. A lot of people, when they know that a transfer is up, to gain their credibility and their clout, they'll start guessing the price. They'll start guessing how much money they're gonna make, right? So why do you think some deals? Some people are like 150 million. I read a few people say 120 million for Eden Hazard to Real Madrid, and it ended up being only 100 million, right? People start guessing, and then one person's gonna guess, and then we all fall on top of them and be like, "You're the most trustable source on the internet." My point is that the truth is Bayern have basically probably agreed a deal with Sane in terms of his pay. We've agreed a deal with them, and we've started negotiations with City a couple of days ago, and we're in the final stages of negotiations. And I think what City is waiting for is the approval. I think Sane might cost less than $120 million. I don't think he's costing 150. Okay, come on, dude. He can't cost 150. Okay, that's way too damn expensive. And I love Leroy Sane. I want him at our club. I think he's gonna do great. But 150 million, or even 100, I don't know, man. But he's already world class. So I do acknowledge that his fee could be a bit high, which I'm fine with. It's football nowadays. Okay, look, you can think of it like this. Oh, my club is going broke, but guess what? That's our money. They're spending the money we pump into the club by going to games, by buying jerseys, right? I've spent money on Bayern, and guess what? They're spending our money. They're spending our valuable dollars and our euros and our pounds, and guess what? And then they're reinvesting. It's for our own entertainment, okay? We're gonna have a better player. We're gonna win trophies. We're gonna get to boast, okay? So it's worth it to spend 120 million on Sane. He's that good of a player. I mean, all these sources coming out and saying that now Bayern are in the final stages of negotiations. I'm sorry, but I call BS. Clubs will try to do that. Bayern, I get it, okay? But it's also stupid. Because if you wanted people to believe they were just rumors, guess what? You don't say a thing. That's exactly what you don't do, right? Okay, Niko Kovac already said, oh, there's a very good chance we're getting Sane. And then our board comes out and says, shut up, Nico. You don't want them to know that. And guess what? I think it's because we're negotiating with City. We want to respect City, and we want to respect them. And then guess what? If City sees that we're super desperate to get Sane, and all our club is talking about it, our players are doing everything, then City's going to be like, oh, okay, we'll give you 150 million for him, right? It increases the price. That's why they're trying to shut down these rumors, so that City doesn't see that we're desperate and we just cruise along with the deal. But what I gotta applaud Manchester City on is that they're not leaking anything. City aren't leaking anything. I think most of these leaks have come mainly from Bayern. They've come from our coach. They've come from our players. Kimmich saying and making a joke about no longer talking to Leroy Sane and no longer responding to his. First of all, I don't think Kimmich Kimmich is the best right back in the world and our future club captain. There's no way he's messaging Leroy Sane like, join our club, please. No. Okay, I don't even think any of our players are doing that. Okay, they're just making jokes. But it feels like Sane is coming 1,000% at this point, Because when your club is saying no, he's not coming, and our board has been saying for like 2 months that we're working on deals and working on Sane. They've literally mentioned his name and said he's a good player and what we need. Our manager has said he's our dream player, so of course they're working on the deal. So I think, guess what? Sane has made the decision. He wants to come to Bayern. Bayern have offered Sane a contract. They've worked on it, and Sane and his agent have agreed to that offer. Sane is very open to the move at this point, and now negotiations had started with City, basic negotiations like the fee and the evaluation of both clubs. I think City values him at around 100 million, and Bayern values him at around. We're probably gonna offer really low and get what City bring, and then we'll offer like a good markup from our original price, okay? And that's how we get a good deal, because sometimes we offer 18 million for a player that's really going to cost 50 million. It's not because we're stupid, it's because then the next offer we give is like 18 million times 2, so 36 million. And then all of a sudden to the other people, that seems like a big deal because you just doubled what you were offering. Okay? So I think Leroy Sane will be coming to Bayern. I think that we should be seeing him within the next few days. I did say last week that by the end of this week we should have signed Sane or nothing. Okay, we were linked to Leon Bailey, which I don't freaking care, dude. I don't fancy that. Is that what the British people say? I don't really see why we would want him. He hasn't ever stuck out to me, Leon Bailey, because he's had very inconsistent seasons. Then again, he's been injured. We don't need a hospital FC, okay? We don't need to be hospital. FCBH, all right? FC Bayern Hospital. I don't want to be freaking hospitals for players, right? I want a club because this is a professional sport. You're not meant to get injured. You're meant to be a professional at keeping your body fit and not getting injured. So, at this point, with all the news coming out, Bayern is going to sign Sane. There's no 50-50 chance, right? Yeah, everyone wants to be first to break the story, and that's what I just read from this guy, right? I think that's a big thing for these people. Everyone wants to be first, right? Everyone wants to break out the story first so they can gain the credibility, right? So that's why, and usually when multiple sources that have been well trusted come out with the same story at almost the exact same time, that's because they have sources telling them that's what's happening, right? Someone at the club has run their mouth to. How these source things actually. Okay, first of all, each newspaper outlet like Bild and Metro, all these guys, they probably have a first line communication to the club. I mean, the club has good communications to them. Literally, our president could decide, I want to call Bild and the head of Bild, and there'd be a guy with his number right there, right? My point is that the clubs can break stories, but when people just, so what I think happens is, look, legit, this is how it could work, right? There's a doctor at Bayern Munich who's head of like player, okay, he's essentially works on like the medical stuff for players, right? One of the people working on the transfers is like, hey, we're working on something. A player is gonna schedule an appointment. Make sure you're free Friday, freaking August 2nd. Don't put any appointments in. This is legit how it happens. Don't put any appointments in. All right. You want to be free. And we also want a clean office, everything clean and new, and we want you to be present. Okay. Set everything up. The doctor's assistant. The doctor is faithful. He's probably well trusted, been there for years. He doesn't want to break a story. But the assistant of the doctor is like, oh, we need to be. What's the appointment for Friday the 2nd tomorrow? And then the assistant is like, blah blah blah. The doctor is like, clear everything and then move it. And then the assistant is like, why? And the doctor is like, nothing, just do it. Bang! The assistant just heard. And then the assistant looks on Twitter. Bayern Munich in for Leroy Sane. Bayern in negotiations with Sane. Then the assistant goes and says, wow, we might be getting Leroy Sane to to their assistant, right? Because the assistant probably has an assistant. And then the security guard was probably standing somewhere and heard it. And guess what? The security guard has a Twitter account. And then legit, that's how stories are broken. There was literally stories where people from the shipping department of the club or the like jerseys, have been told to print a certain jersey with the player's name on it, and someone, of course, the people working directly and leading that department aren't gonna leak it, but someone's gonna be like, yo, they're wanting me to print these jerseys to someone, and then someone else, and then literally their wife could hear it. They could tell their wife or their husband, right? At the end of the day, and guess what, bro? We have a story. That's literally what happens, okay? That's what happens. That anyone can be a source. That's why I don't think, you can really hide a story. You can't. Someone heard it. Someone heard it from someone. Someone heard just a fragment of it and are willing to say it and get some credit. And sometimes they get paid, and they obviously remain anonymous and they don't want anyone to know them. But that's it, man. That's it. So, this Sane deal, man, has gone all sorts of ways. We had a week where, everyone was sure that's the week we were going to sign Sane. 2 weeks ago, Sane came back from vacation. He was given I don't know, would you say choice? No, he was given like that, he had to make a decision after his holiday. And then he came back from his holiday. He was probably still unsure. He hadn't spoken to Pep and talked about his future. And I think he's talked to Pep, and Pep is like, you're going to be a bench player for me. I don't think Pep rates Sane, man. I don't know what it is, but something tells me Pep does not like tall players. Okay? He kicked out Yaya Toure. He prefers Fernandinho over anyone else, and his center backs are the only tall players. And then again, they just got Rodri Hernandez from Atletico Madrid, so I don't really know if that's true. So the point is here, we're just waiting for the deals. We're waiting for everything to be complete. I think I'm gonna end this video here, though. I guess not video, the stream here. I really had fun, but I'm getting tired of the Sane deal thing. Okay, we need to complete it eventually. We need to complete it by the end of this week, right? If not the end of this week, we're just, because guess what? The club has to consider that the player is going into a completely new team with a different atmosphere, different expectations, new league, right? They have to consider that player needs to know all of his teammates, not just the German ones. They have to consider everything. And then on top of that, they have to make sure the player is situated has a living situation, right? So Sane probably has to find a house in Munich. All these things you factor in, right? And that's when you make the announcement. So if the announcement isn't made by like Sunday, the end of this week, no, well, Sunday, yeah, then we can just call it off, okay? Because, it doesn't take that long for negotiations. It takes literally sometimes 2 hours to negotiate with a club over the transfer of a player, as long as the player wants to come and you've agreed to deal with the player. Alright, anyways, thank you for watching this video and sticking with me. Mia san mia, and goodbye.